Hi there, John here from Sales Desk. There are two user types in Sales Desk. The first is the CRM user, and that basically represents your internal sales team engaging through the platform to reach out to and collaborate with your buyers. The other user type is called the customer user type, and they're onboarded slightly differently. So first of all, we're going to work on a standard user, that's your internal team member. Let me show you how to do that. First of all, let's start with adding a normal Sales Desk user. Simply go to your profile area, choose access and choose users. Here's an example of an existing user, that's Fred. You can see that he has the admin role, when he last logged in, when he was active, and so on. So that's basically what a normal user looks like. To add a new user, simply click here, add their details, and select Create User. You do have to put their email address in because that's used to send them an email invite. When they click on the invite, you have a new user in the system. It's really that simple. Next, we'll talk about role. In order for a user to log into Sales Desk, they need to be part of at least one role. So I'm going to show you how to create roles and assign roles to individual users. Simply go to your profile view here, access, and then select roles. So the admin role is always in the system, and it basically gives you access to all areas. This is a good example of a more restrictive role where you can view records, but you can't edit them, you can't change record owners, and you can't delete them. And also you can see the areas of the product that you don't really have much access to. But obviously you can amend that by selecting the various permissions for each individual role. So that's how you basically manage existing roles. You can add a new role if you want to, simply give it a name and then assign the various fields and rules that you want to assign. So by doing that, you create a very advanced, quite fine-grained level of access control for all CRM users that log into the system. Next, we're going to assign a role to an individual user to set their level of access to the Sales Desk system. So let's go to users here. I'm going to go to Fred, and I'm going to go through to his individual details page. So what I'm going to do with Fred now is change his role. So down here you can see he's an admin, he has access to all areas, but I'm going to click here, remove that role and add the viewer role. So what that does is means that Fred can log in, but there are various things he can't do. He can't delete records, he can't change owners of records, he can only view them. You are able to assign more than one role to an individual person, which means they get a mix of the access controls set in each individual role. So by doing that, you have very detailed control over the access of everybody in the system. Now for the exciting bit. One of the things that makes Sales Desk unique among CRMs is it's the only CRM where a lead or contact, one of your potential customers, can securely access the system in a ring-fenced way. The reason we allow this is if you bring the customers and the sales team together in one platform, they can collaborate, because if you bring the features together, you bring the data together. No need for fragmented digital sales rooms and separate CRMs and so on. So let me give an example of how you can invite a contact or lead to Sales Desk. Let's take Will, he's a friend of mine. I'm going to click here and I'm going to click Invite Customer. So I can leave a message to Will. When I click invite, he will get an email inviting him to his individual workspace only. And once he logs in, he can see all of the information, all the collaboration tools in one branded environment. So when you have a contact or lead that's sort of ready to begin engaging a bit more, collaborating, sharing documents, jumping on video calls, you can simply invite a contact or a lead to join the platform and everything happens under one roof. Before we carry on to show you how you look at customer users within Sales Desk though, let me show you what Will's experience is when he logs into Sales Desk. So I'm just going to click here to his user details and you can see there's a connection here to his individual workspace. So if I click here and then click go to workspace, this is what he sees when he logs in. You can see there are his team members, there's me, there's my colleague. So this is what he's effectively invited to. His own rather green, so obviously can be branded. So the idea is that you create a workspace for your lead and contact when you're ready to start collaborating with them. And when you invite them in the platform, they're just selected and assigned to their own individual workspace. Really simple. No need for a separate digital sales room and a separate CRM. It's all built in and all unified in one place. I mentioned that you can invite a contact or a lead to log into Sales Desk and collaborate with them through their own workspace. Not all contacts and leads need to be invited to log into the platform. You don't always need to use a workspace. However, if a lead or a contact progresses beyond a certain level, it's a great way of engaging, sharing contacts, sharing records, and collaborating to get that deal closed. Because not all contacts and leads can log in, how do you see in one place all the contacts and leads that can log in at any point in time. Let me show you. Simply leaving this workspace, I'm going to go to my profile and to access. And if you click here, you can see a list of customers. It's a bit like the internal users list, but in this case, it's every single contact or lead that can currently log into the system. So let's do a search for Will, and there's Will Fordham. I can look at this person here. They are, as you can see, they're a contact. You can see that they are shared with a workspace. And if you go down here, you can see his recent activity. You can see he joined a meeting with me 3 hours ago. I can see his emails and his history. So the great thing is, by allowing your contacts or leads access to the platform, you have this great audit trail of all of their engagements, all of their collaborations and everything in one place. No need for a separate digital sales room, no need for Teams and Salesforce. You have this seamless way of selectively inviting contacts and leads to join the platform securely and collaborate with you through Workspace. One final thing, how do you see as a Sales Desk user what your customer's experience is when they log into Sales Desk? Remember, they can't log into the CRM view, they can only access the individual workspaces they've been invited to. So the way to do that is if you just go to your profile picture here and go to Settings and Account. If you scroll down, you will see the URL to access the customer's workspaces. So that's effectively what customers see when they log into Sales Desk. So if I click on this URL here, you can see what their experience is like. So there are lots of different workspaces set up here because this is a demo environment. But a customer logging in will have access to a branded area, so you can rebrand this to look like your company website. You can even embed this link in your company website, so when your customers access your website, they can log into your workspaces and talk to your sales teams directly through your website. So if I click here in this workspace, I'm brought back into my own workspace. I can't see the CRM view. I can only see parts of the platform that I've been given access to by the sales team, and I can start to collaborate with the sales teams remotely through this secure workspace.